Welcome to another Grit and Grime basketball podcast. I'm your host, Dave. It's Sagoe. He is Thomas Arnal.
Hey.
And he is Jose Garcia Vidal, back once again.
Yes.
And we are here to talk about our favorite topic on planet Earth, the NBA. It's the playoffs. And it's really been the playoffs. I didn't realize, I did realize when I read it, the Warriors Memphis Grizzlies game was the most watched the most watched second round playoff game most watched playoff opener since 2011.
Wow. All right. Okay.
2011.
Wow.
That's big, right?
Yeah. A long decade. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Okay.
And I was like, oh, why this game? But I guess it kind of hit all the markets at a decent time. So we were able to watch it at least the beginning. America was able to watch it at least the beginning. Europe, obviously South America are okay. Same time zone. Potentially in Africa, you could have started watching it. And I'm wondering if it was late enough for the Asian market to watch it in the morning. And I think it might have been.
It's still oh yeah, because I guess for them it was already Monday, wasn't it? So yeah.
Yeah, but I think it would have been morning time.
Yeah,
so,
but it makes sense what you're saying. More people were able to watch it.
Yeah. And it was a hell of a game. Should we start there or should we go with last night's games first?
I think let's start there because it happened first, right?
Nice and smooth.
I mean, Boston happened first, actually.
Yeah.
Boston, Milwaukee.
But we brought it up, so we'll continue. Close game. Hell of a close game. Lots of events. I think Milwaukee were really turning the Warriors over as they normally do. But the game, they managed to stay within reach throughout. The Warriors started to open up a little bit of a lead. And then my boy at least, Draymond Green.
So
flagrant 2, ejected.
Yeah.
And then he waited till the game finished before he jumped on his podcast and put out an episode. But it was pretty much as soon as the game finished.
But he had that weird thing where he looked like he was celebrating when he got kicked out, and I was like,
yeah. So
bro.
He basically realized that the refs had made their decision already. They had told them, but they hadn't announced it. And his whole thing was the explanation they gave him didn't make any sense to him. And then he didn't get why they were taking so long to announce it. Like, they made their decision. There's nothing more to discuss, but they carried on discussing it even after they had told him.
Right.
And I guess, because they have to give a reason, right? Like,
of course. Yeah.
Excessive contact or whatever it is. And that must have been it, right? That they couldn't seem to decide what exactly they were calling the flagrant 2 for. Gave him and then so in that time, he was just like, you know what? I'm just going to leave myself. And then they still hadn't announced it. So he came back. And then that's when he dapped up everyone on the bench. He did his whole wrestler. Hand slaps with everyone. And then did his weird celebration and left the court. What do we think, though, on the play?
It's a foul. Is it a flagrant 2? Is it enough for you to get ejected? Probably not. But I mean, I think James Worthy was the only guy in the whole NBA universe that said that's not a flagrant 2. Everybody else kind of agreed with it. I'm on the fence. I'm like, it's, and I think it's what Draymond said. It's a reputation thing. It's like, if anybody else would have made that foul, probably they wouldn't have gotten ejected.
I mean, it looks spectacular. I think it's when you watch it, it's like the guy's just.
It's also he's done it almost in back-to-back games, putting his hand on somebody's face. Like he did it with Jokic, and now he did it again. So
yeah, he's got to chill though, because he that what was it in the 2016 finals where he did that sort of stuff and then it kind of backfired.
Yeah,
he's gotta relax. Like, yeah, you can do hard fouls, and that's what everybody enjoys these days. And in the playoffs, usually it's the physicality that comes back, and you get like it's harder to get a foul, and you can foul harder as well, which is all good to me. But like that was a bit over the line. Like just foul the guy unless you want to send a message saying, "Look, we're here." Like there's no easy baskets, but like before I remember like no easy baskets, like you would just go up and like you would get your arms chopped off, but that would be it. Like I thought that was a bit weird.
Well, it was a little bit more than that.
It was a bit more than that. Yeah, there was a neck massage there, like a friendly.
And then he grabbed his jersey too. Like that was thick as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit much. I don't know if it's getting ejected type of foul, but like it was borderline to me. Borderline.
And then it's funny that you say that James Worthy was the only one that didn't think it was flagrant too. From what I saw on social media, no one thought it was a flagrant two, and everyone was pretty much on Draymond's side that it was a reputation call. But I do think. And this is after like watching it in super slow-mo, which I guess the refs get to do as well.
It looks worse in slow-mo.
Yes, it definitely looks worse in slow-mo. And then I think it's the jersey grab. It's the jersey grab. It's not just the hit to the face. It's the fact that then he grabs the jersey and pulls him, which is similar to the Grayson Allen thing. Remember when we said, you fouled him. You don't then need to reach over and commit a second foul on someone who's in the air. And I think the fact that he grabbed his jersey, even though he first grabs his jersey and pulls him down, then while he's falling, tries to pull him up by his jersey. It's like, and he was saying, I was trying to hold him up. And it's like, initially, I don't think you were trying to hold him up because he was above you. And no one's ever tried to hold someone up by grabbing their jersey collar. So I think that's why they eventually decided on the flagrant two. He was out, and then obviously that created just a layup line for Ja Morant, didn't it?
Yep.
He goes crazy from three as well. Who else? Jaren Jackson Jr. starts going crazy from three, and the T-Wolves get themselves back in the game.
Grizzlies. You mean the Grizzlies?
They're at home. They're at home. Sorry, Kat. I know you listen. The Memphis Grizzlies get themselves back in the game, and it goes down to the wire. A couple interesting things happen at the end of the game. The out-of-bounds call, clearly off Memphis. How did they end up with the jump ball?
The refs, man. They just...
I don't know. That one was ridiculous.
Yeah. I said it all the time, like the refereeing. Those games were a bit...
So weird. So weird. But they end up with a jump ball between two players that meant that it was definitely going to be Memphis that won the jump ball. What else did we have down the end of the game?
Dance. Ja Morant's dance.
Oh, when did he do the dance?
He was celebrating when they were still ahead.
Ooh. But that's the Grizzlies, right? I don't mind it because they always do it. And they always do it.
Fair enough.
They always do it during the game. Which is another thing, right? Like the Michael Jordan, why don't you do that when it's 0-0?
Yeah.
They did it at a time when the Warriors could still do something about it, right? He also did the what was it? He didn't blow by. He hit a shot over Kuminga and then pointed directly at him and said, "He can't guard me." And then said it again, "He can't guard me." And I was like, how is that not a tech? But
yeah.
But when you stare down
the
person that you've scored on or whatever, that's a tech. Like, surely that is more humiliating. But I guess they put it with the too small.
To be fair, none of it should ever be a tech, though. You want
that
that spike.
I agree.
You want that fire. But yeah, I know what you mean, though. It should have been. But
just out of consistency. Yeah.
Should be consistent. Sure.
Yeah.
Consistency, exactly. But like in spirit, give me more. I saw one. I'm doing my weekly Wembanyama update where somebody in the French league sort of crossed him over and then shot over him for once, and then turned around and did the too small sign. I went, bro. Anyway, he got blocked 4 times in the second. So, guys, whenever he gets to the NBA, don't fucking talk shit. Don't tell him he's too small when clearly physics and a good pair of eyes.
I hope every time he blocked him, he went too small.
Should have done. No, he's very subdued. He's not the trash talking kind of guy. So he's not.
Well done. Good for him.
So that was quite funny.
That's all right. We'll get him to the Grizzlies and change all that.
That was your Wemby update. Fans, get it.
Yeah, I hope he tears up the league when he gets there. So that happened. The Ja Morant thing happened. Close game down the end. Klay Thompson ends up going to the line near the very end. Misses 2 free throws.
Yeah.
Who thought?
Oh, do it? Yeah. He got his Shaq on. He just went, 0 for 2.
Don't need. Hey, Shaq made them when they mattered.
He always made them when it mattered, man.
Made them when they mattered.
The All-Star game.
No, he would throw them to the backboard.
Try and dunk it himself.
Yeah.
Illegal.
Yeah.
But more on that later.
Yeah.
And then I think it's the next possession. Ja Morant gets the ball with a chance to make it a 2-possession game, something like that, and gets stripped by Steph Curry, who also started talking some smack, talking about I got him. And then I think it's Klay hits a big 3.
Yeah.
To put the Warriors up 1. Yeah. And then we have Memphis with the final possession. They take a timeout, set up a play to get Ja going downhill, which I thought was a really good play, actually. Did exactly what it was meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was it? A pass to Brandon Clark, I think, who did the sort of dump off bounce pass to Ja once he's got up ahead of steam. Gary Payton II is the man checking him. As he starts to go by him, Klay leaves his man and comes over to help. Ja goes for another lefty scoop, just like the one that beat the T-Wolves. But he's a lot further from the basket this time and can't.
Yeah, he was scoring a lot faster as well. So out of balance. Angle. So it wasn't an easy shot. It's a layup, but it wasn't easy at all.
Yeah. It was going for a layup too far from the basket to do a layup. You probably could have only really got off a floater and got it to the rim. But again, at that speed, you want to do that? It's tough. So they get the stop, and Klay comes up big. I don't even think Steph was on the floor at that point. And even with all of that, Poole was the Warriors' best player. And the Warriors steal home court advantage.
Yeah. Try and go and stop them now. It's gonna be tricky.
I think all it was a game Memphis had to win.
All they need is Draymond not to derail those plans. I think he's got to stay cool-headed. which is I don't know. There's like two teams with and without him. It's just so that important. So I'd be Steve Kerr. I'd be like, bring the energy, but also chill. Please chill. Especially when it's a close one like this. We can't afford not to have you on the court. So I'm still going Warriors in 5. I can't get
Warriors in 5.
Warriors in 5.
That's you, Jose.
That was same. I think the Memphis Grizzlies can steal a game. I think its experience is going to triumph from this series, and you have 2 champions there, plus a coach. So 3 champions. Sorry,
3. Yeah.
So yeah.
It's gonna be
tricky. 5 is fair.
5 is fair. Are
4
you thinking
4 champions? 4 champions.
Who's the 4?
Kevon Looney.
He's still
right.
there.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He plays.
Yeah, he's still playing. Yeah.
I did not notice him.
Quiet.
Champions and a coach. Yep.
Yeah, he didn't start the game. It went with Gary Payton, the second, and Draymond at center. I think he was on the last championship team. 17? 18. So you guys go 5. See, I think they can do better than that. It's just the fact that they've already given up home court. I think I think they can get 2. I think
in 6.
Warriors in 6. I do think Warriors in 6.
I would have seen Warriors in 6 if Grizzlies would have taken game 1. I think I would have gone with that. Home advantage.
I think the Grizzlies can take game 2. The only thing that worries me is that Jar and Jaren Jackson Jr. had excellent games, especially like shooting it from 3. I don't know that Jar can do that again. Yeah, they still lost. And Jaren Jackson Jr. wasn't in foul trouble for once.
Yeah.
And the Warriors managed to key in on Bane and Dylan Brooks, but I don't know. I think they can take 2. I think they can take 2 off them. Don't forget the Nuggets took 1 off them, and it came very close to taking another 1 or 2 from them.
True.
And I know how good Jokic is, but the rest of that supporting cast, I think, was kind of elevated somehow by the situation. And I think Memphis can. I think Memphis bother them, first of all, just because of their athleticism. They're everywhere. They never stop moving, never stop running, like you were saying, Jose, when you're watching the first quarter. And we know the Warriors are turnover prone. So I think they can get a couple. I could be wrong.
Get those young legs.
Totally possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's fun. 6, it's fun basketball. It's like, clickbait basketball. You know what you're getting.
Yeah, it's up and down, and then also you're going to get some highlights as well.
Yeah.
All right, so moving over to the second game, the first game Sunday. Celtics Bucks.
Yeah.
Celtics Bucks. Man, I guess the Bucks are a little bit different proposition to the Nets, huh?
Well, you've seen those highlights of Tatum trying to defend on Giannis.
Yes.
And that's when you realize the difference. Like, as much, I think you see the difference in physicality between like KD and Giannis, right? They're both super tall and skinny. Skinny for Giannis because he's bigger than we think. But you can see the difference, like where KD were trying to be softer and trying to get himself open and trying to be like German, like almost not avoiding contact. You see Giannis going absolutely like almost elbowing JT, like Sunday morning freaking, like there's the highlight that I thought that was quite telling, the one when he's literally getting Tatum off him, like Tatum just stumbles on the ground and then he goes and bullies him, like the other defender to get an N1. That was pretty. I was like, wow, pure strength there. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's what happens when you have a team that plays team basketball and has one leader and they're missing Middleton as well. So that's not a small feat to go and win in Boston.
And Boston still has Boston is not a one player team, they share the ball, they play,
Absolutely.
but the Bucks defend so well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that every shot that Boston made was either forced or a bad shot or they had a guy nearby, so that makes you eventually, even your open shots, you're not going to make them, right? So it was really hard for them to get into a rhythm, I think. And I was watching this with my nephew, he's 12. He's like, why are they missing so much? I'm like, look at the defense. And that's it, Milwaukee plays outstanding defense. Tatum scored 20, 21 points.
21, I think, yeah.
33% shooting from the field.
That's low.
And that's with 3 turnovers, right? 6 assists, 3 turnovers. Not a good ratio. And I think that's the other thing that was a big difference. In the first quarter, the Celtics were being forced into so many turnovers. And I think the way that they reinvigorated their offense from January onwards was this ball moving style. And they finally learned to share it, and they got Derek White, who's another ball mover coming over from San Antonio, where they've always done that. And that sort of ignited this sort of infectious will to move the ball. So whenever you look down their assists, even it's the same is true of Sunday. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different players with assists, 6 different players with assists. No one has more than 6. And that's the kind of thing that they've been doing. But those 21 assists are then matched with 18 turnovers. And part of what the Bucks did to force those was they would picking them up early. Whoever was bringing the ball up was getting guarded full court from the opening tip to the finishing tip, even the closing tip. Like even in garbage time when the starters had been pulled with about 2 minutes to go, they still kept that mentality of you're not getting an inch here. And we spoke about the guards and how small the nets were. Now you're being guarded by and hounded by Drew Holiday, and Javon Carter, who was really good defensively on the day. And these guys are just getting into you and staying at you, staying on you. And it forced like Al Horford into setting screens in the back court, just to get some breathing room so they could get into their offense. And when you do that, you not only slow down the attack and the number of possessions, it also makes the ball handler think about their handle, about their dribble, about what they're doing with the ball. And if you're dribbling up wanting to get rid of the ball, you're more likely to throw a turnover, right? Because as soon as you see an opening, you're like, you see it as respite. And then you throw the ball, and then it's just like, I didn't even think that that player would then cut it out, or I didn't think that my player might move or anything like that. You're not thinking with the right mentality at that point. On the opposite side of the half court, the paint. The Celtics shot 10 for 31 in the paint.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
They couldn't get anything at the rim. The way Brook Lopez and Giannis, and at times Bobby Portis were protecting the rim, like it was crazy. And even just looking at their starting lineup, right? Bobby Portis is basically, well, I guess Giannis is their starting 3.
Yeah.
Because Portis and Lopez both started. He's 6'11".
Such a weird thing.
Like when the sorry, just last thing. When the Lakers won the ring 2 years ago, a lot of the time LeBron was their 3 and he's 6'9". But here Giannis is the 3. They're just huge.
I mean, to add to what you're saying about the defense, those three guys on defense, like, and you have to. It's kind of weird also because Giannis picked up like 3 fouls fairly quickly. I think.
Yeah.
I think he was on 3.5 or even 4.5. Three,
no,
maybe I'm wrong.
he wasn't in foul trouble until the third quarter.
The third, well, there was that weird foul when he trying to steal that ball from Jason Tatum. Like
that was 4.
He fouled just before, and then he
Yeah.
went again and trying to steal that when there's no way in hell you're going to steal that.
Yeah.
Which I think he got subbed out
Yeah.
after doing that. Which is
Yeah, it was so stupid.
Yeah, it's I don't know what went through his head on that one, but hey, it doesn't matter. So that's why it's proof that the rest of the team knows what they're doing and they know their role. Like you've got Lopez and Porter that can still influence defensively and do their job, even if Giannis is maybe seeing a bit more bench time or being less, trying to get at the guy with the ball because he might pick up his 5th or something. After watching the game, it was really, to me, I was like, you know what we said about them having the experience of winning that title and them feeling comfortable and knowing what they have to do. I think that came through on game 1. Yeah. It was like they never panicked. They always it felt like they were in control from tip off to the end. It's like I never thought there would be another outcome than what we saw. And they always look like super composed and everything. So on paper, it's not maybe the scariest team, but like they know what they have to do and they know how to do it. So good luck everyone else,
Yeah, the Celtics need to play outstanding basketball to win by 2 points. So it's gonna be a long series for them, but it might be really short in a way. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll see.
Did you just say Bucks in 6?
You just said in 4.
Yeah, maybe 5, man. Maybe 5.
Ooh.
Maybe 5.
Yeah.
What do you see, Dave? What's your?
Because again, you don't want to be like a prisoner of the moment, right?
Exactly.
The Celtics are a very good team, as we've seen since Christmas. My concern for them is normally in these series, Giannis gets better as the series goes on. He needs to figure out his matchup. He needs to what Giannis a lot of the time needs to know, and this has especially been true the last 2 or 3 years, is whether his man is going to take charges. And Al Horford is not going to take charges.
Man, he's too old, man. If he takes a charge, he's going to break something.
He's not.
Come on.
And Giannis has come up against him before, and I think Horford did an excellent job on Giannis in game 1. He had him missing a lot of layups. If Giannis makes those layups, this is a complete blowout. Like, they were in control of this game. If he makes his layups, this game is not close from like the half.
Yeah.
So my concern for Boston is that Giannis is going to sort of get used to the way Horford is defending him and just start running him over, start plowing by him, start just slicing through him and upping that field goal percentage, because he only shot 36% from the field. He did not have a good shooting night at all. And he only took 2 threes. So he missed a lot of 2-pointers, a lot of inside shots. And they still got wrecked. The Bucks only shot 35% from 3. It was really a defensive game. So the fact that the Celtics are struggling to score and will struggle to score in this series because of the way the Bucks are defending them, the only way they can, well, not the only way, but the easiest way, easier said than done, for them to win this series is to get hot from 3. And I just don't think that is like a recipe for winning a series.
You can't rely on a 3-pointer, right? It has to be a weapon, fine, but it's not your main weapon. Like, we've seen it fail many times. Yeah. Right. Remember Mike D'Antoni? Like, we've seen it fail, and it's not the solution.
Yeah. So it looks tough for them. I did pick the Celtics before watching game one. Just because Middleton was out.
Fair, yeah.
But then the fact that Smart is now hobbled, he picked up, what was it, a thigh contusion and a shoulder contusion. I just struggle to see where the scoring is going to come from. Jaylen Brown's suffering with a hamstring injury, I believe. Yeah, I just struggle to see where they're going to score from now. So I think I do go Bucks in, I don't know, I like to be conservative. Bucks in 6, not conservative. Okay. Vote Labour. Ooh, shouldn't have said that.
I'm going to say political. I'm going the same, Bucks in 6.
Okay.
I'm also wondering about, again, maybe I'm looking too much into it, but the fact that they've swept the Nets mentally, what does that do? What does that do to a group?
Team, though, I think.
No. But what I mean is that you're going to a series that you're not so sure of yourself. Right?
Now you've been punched in the mouth.
Fine. I see it.
Yeah,
I see.
Now you've been punched in the mouth.
Yeah, like how do they react to that, knowing that they've managed to react against the Nets that were the heavy favorite for everyone else but me? But it's like they like mentally, how do you bounce back for that? Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it's always interesting to see game 2, which is what, tonight. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from that. If they lose again by another blowout, then shit, that might be a quicker series than we expected it to be, right?
Just remember I was respectful, Boston. Remember I was respectful.
I'm respectful too. I'm just wondering how, I jokingly said Celtics in 4 or in 5 last round. I wasn't that far off, but that one, I don't know. I'll make a judgment. I'll pass a judgment after game 2. I'll see. But right now it's Bucks in 6.
All right. And then in 2 games, which I wasn't able to watch the whole game of, so we'll do a brief rundown. The Sixers lost game 1 to Miami Heat in Miami. No Joel Embiid, who was out with he's in the concussion protocol and has, what's the actual facial? Is it just a facial fracture? Orbital fracture?
Orbital fracture. Which I was watching a very interesting video of, I can't remember, I was going to give him a shout out, but like there's this YouTube channel that does very good analysis of these type of things. And the guy was like, they have to be careful because usually, I think it's the team doctors or like somebody who specialized in that type of injury said, last time he had something similar, he was out for 10 games. So him being back next game is, and if he was to come back and you take as much as a whisper on his face, even with the protection on his face, he could lose his eyesight. Like you're talking about like an actual life-changing injury. Like it's not like you rolled your ankle, you can come back and play through it, but like that's like proper dangerous stuff. So he's got to be.
Yeah, it's a really sensitive bone, the orbital bone. So yeah, I mean they've said he's out indefinitely. They've ruled him out of game 1 and 2, which are the 2 in Miami, obviously. Miami have home court advantage, so it's not like you can lose these 2 games and still win the series. It's happened plenty of times.
Yeah.
But I mean that doesn't sound good, does it?
No.
But it's also
this team without Embiid, it's just nothing, man.
But it's also more important for the person that he's 100% healthy and leaves, ends up, keeps his eyesight, etc.
Yeah.
So if he can't play, he can't play.
He has to play for France.
We need him for the Olympics.
So come on, man. That's just ridiculous. You have Embiid and Gobert. Come on.
I'll take that. No, but
we need players, man.
We can talk about it a little bit later or on a different podcast. But like the rest of the national team, they just went, nah, we don't actually want him. The players.
Well, why would they? Like, no, that's fair. Like, he's not actually. Is he? How is he related to France? Like,
he's related because he's got family that lives there and he's been there. He speaks French. He's also is from Cameroon, and that's. there's a lot of history between France and Cameroon. Not the best one, maybe.
Don't sugarcoat it, man.
It's
a colony. It was a colony.
Exactly, it's a French colony.
Come
So, but he's, to be fair, the only point that I see, the fair point is that he's always had that interest. It's not like he started this year to go for paperwork. It's been since 2016 that he's asked for it.
He just wants to win a title, man.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But like, I was listening to a bunch of live streams yesterday, and there are a lot of good arguments, like in terms of on the courts, like for actual like medal chances and everything. Like, I want to see that. Like, I'm all for it. I also understand the two other angle, which is like the rest of the team is like, well, hang on, he's not actually French, right? Like, we've got US-born players in the women's basketball team, in the French national team. There's two players that actually Americans, but one of them is like their grandmother is French. She was married to a French guy. Yeah. They were like the kids, like, so they lived in France and speak like, so they know the culture. They live there. They play there, so it's fine. So it's not so much a thing of like saying, "Oh, there's a foreigner coming." Like, no, it's not that at all. It's more like, well, you can ask to get a passport, but like, what's your connection with it? But there were a lot of people calling from Cameroon saying, "Well, listen, it's kind of weird that he does that because he's always been trying to promote African basketball."
Yeah.
And like if you want to do the Olympics, then why don't you jump in with, I think who else is from Cameroon in the NBA? There's another guy. I forgot his name.
Siakam from there?
I think Siakam is from there, but Siakam, I think, expressed interest in playing for the Canadian team.
There you go.
But I think it was like,
that makes more sense.
Why don't you, if you want to promote African basketball, why don't you go and like have fun with the Cameroon team, like the two players team? There's a bunch of players that from Cameroon, like they're not a bad team. They're actually really, really, really good African team.
Yeah, Siakam.
Like add Siakam and add Embiid. Like, do yourself something fun. Like, actually spend a couple summers and try to qualify for the Olympics. Take that team to the Olympics, and then you'll see.
Yeah.
So there were a bunch of people like called from Cameroon. They were like, well, but again, that's also his right to choose. Like, he's not played any international game with Cameroon, so he's still allowed to pick. And it's been done. Like, there's a bunch of Eastern European teams that have done it, like with American players.
But just think of Ibaka playing for Spain. Like, he's from Congo, right? So,
but again,
Ibaka right there.
Ibaka left for like at the age of, I think, 14 or something. He went to France. He went to Spain at the age of 16. Speaks Spanish. Lived there for a while. So it's.
I think like so with teams that have such a rich tradition of having competitive teams.
Yeah,
such as France, Spain. I include Argentina in there. Like,
of course.
Like, do you really want another player like this? He didn't help you qualify for the Olympics.
No, exactly. But that's what the players were kind of
right?
like.
So
but he's not.
If I was one of the players, I would be like,
team.
Hold on, what? Hold on, nah, we don't need this guy.
As a fan and as
taking
an ego
someone's
trip
spot as well.
Exactly. Like, as a fan and as part of as an ego trip, I'm like, like, let's go, and then we see Team USA in the finals. And
that would be
what's
fun,
up?
Yeah.
Because the also thing is 2024 again, when Benyama update number 2, he will be in the French team. So imagine inside with Gobert, Poirier, Wembanyama, and Embiid. You put Gobert and Embiid, YOLO. Both of them together.
You can play Wemby. Yeah, you can play Wemby. You can shoot it.
You put Gobert at the 5.
Especially the FIBA line.
Dude, Gobert at the 5. You put Embiid 4, and then Wembanyama 3. It's like
cross them over.
yeah. It's gonna be either a block party or crossover party.
It's the Bucks 2.0.
Anyway, it's the NBA. No.
Yes.
Allegedly.
So, since Embiid wasn't there, DeAndre Jordan needed to start. So it's a beautiful difference there.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if you guys remember when Jalen Rose he probably still does it, to be fair. I just don't listen anymore. Used to talk about keep getting them checks, guys that are just in the league collecting the check. DeAndre Jordan has been doing that for the last 3 seasons.
I'd say 3 seasons.
Cooked, man.
Oh yeah,
he's cooked. There's just nothing left. Maybe more. Maybe his season at the Mavs.
No, I
There's
said
just
three.
nothing
Three's
left
fair.
there. There's nothing left there. And he started. Why would you start him with no?
But who do you start
Embiid?
though? Who do you start?
You go small.
No, but you had to try to defend Bam. Obviously, they didn't succeed.
Yeah, Bam's not a big score. I mean, even with that, he scored. He was 8 for 10. To be fair, but
Yeah,
he scored 24 points.
And they were on the paint. Obviously, like they couldn't defend Bam. So
yeah,
that was the difference there. Like they couldn't defend Bam, and Tyler Hero went crazy.
Yeah.
And then although what's his name? Tobias Harris played quite well.
Yeah.
Because he has some advantage over his defenders.
Yeah. Shot 60%, 27 points.
Yeah. Tobias Harris is not a leader though, a guy that's gonna score 30 points to win the game. Or 40, right? So
who's the leader?
Fantastic.
Who's the leader on the Sixers then now that Embiid's not there?
Should be the other guy, right? The guy with the facial hair.
Is that what he's called now? Fear the facial hair.
Fear the facial hair.
Are they like more strip clubs in Philadelphia than?
It was in Miami. It was in Miami.
Oh, it was in Miami. It's true.
Yes. And I don't know if you guys know the legendary rumor that when the OKC Thunder went to the finals in 2012.
2012, yeah.
James Harden, who was instrumental in, sorry, Jose, getting past the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals, then found out that the nightlife in San Antonio is not like the nightlife in Miami. And he was MIA for the finals. He was on the court, but he was not on the court.
His body was there. His mind was in the back room with Thunder and Chanel.
And, yeah, that's said to be a big reason why they only won 5 games. They won the first game, and then things went the other way. And he's back. He's back in Miami for the first time in the playoffs since then. I guess game 1 and game 2 are in Miami. So
forget about
it. What Philly should have done was taken a very late flight and taken him straight to the arena.
So what I found interesting.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if it's the same where like Commando, like the game's at 8, you land at 7:50, you warm up. Like you're already dressed on the plane. You just get there to warm up. You take off as soon as you go grab a shower and off you go. Back to Philly.
I was gonna say I found it really interesting that the starters or the competitive players for the Sixers were out already with 4 minutes left and like an 11-point advantage or 12-point advantage for the Heat. So that's when Doc Rivers said, yeah, we're done. Like 4 minutes left. We're going to talk about the Mavs game in a second. And that was a completely different story, right? Like the guys will fight until the end.
Yeah.
Like really, you don't even want to try? Like, come on, man.
And the irony of that is was the same coach, same team, where they go up 27 and Embiid is still in the game and gets injured.
Gets injured. Yeah.
Is that the coach you want for the Lakers?
Is this your coach, Dave? Is this your coach?
It is not. I promise you.
What was the stat? There's the stat. I think Miami is like 27-1 or 27-0 when the other team score less than 100.
That makes sense.
Maybe Doc.
So that's
maybe Doc saw that stat. He was like, "What's the point?" We're like, "It's 4 minutes to go. We've
not
got
gonna
like
make
82. It's not gonna make it. They won. That's it." I mean, that's a genius move. I think.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, I think they're another team similar to what I was saying about the Raptors with Miami, that if they don't score a lot. So if you can hang points on them, then you can outscore them. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that if you've scored under 100, then they're going to beat you because they can do that. They can get to 100. So where do we see this going? If Tom is in fact right and Embiid misses the rest of the series, and if Tyrese Maxey continues to avoid Harden on the Philadelphia bench, are they done? Are they done?
I mean, who are they going to start? Like DeAndre Jordan is not good enough. Paul Millsap.
Well, this is I part of me wanted to bring him up because I can't remember who was saying at the beginning of the season that he was still good. Like,
I actually think that was me.
He's so washed that DeAndre Jordan got 17 minutes.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
It's a bad take.
Let's talk about the France national team.
Do you want it? No. I think I'm assuming that Embiid is done because of purely on the opinions of the doctor, of what the doctor who actually specialized in that said. I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be wise for him to come back. And it's like, I think I don't want it to be, but I think it might be a sweep.
Broomsticks.
Yeah, either broomstick or a 5. There's still people out there saying that Harden is overdue, like a 45 point. Oh yeah, he's got a broom. Like a 45-point game, but like, is he even mentally ready to do that?
Yeah,
Harden, he feels like he's checked out.
Yeah, well, I don't even think he's checked out.
That's not a broom. That's a mop, though. So they're gonna be mopped.
Getting mopped. That's even worse.
I don't even know if Harden wants to score 45 points ever again.
Why?
He's done, man.
Why?
I think part of why he's now not only teaming up with stars, which he did in Houston, part of why he's going to stars teams is because he doesn't want to carry anymore. He just doesn't want to carry anymore.
Because he didn't work out before?
No, he doesn't want to do it anymore. Like, that's it. Point blank period. He knows he's done it. He knows where that leads.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. I don't think he ever wants to do that again. I think he wants to do this. I think he wants to play point guard, score 20, 25
20-ish.
points, but have like 15 assists and have other people carry the scoring load. And that's why I think he left the Nets. He was like, well, KD's played 30 games the last 2 seasons in a row, and Kyrie's chilling at home. I'm trying to win a championship. I'm sacrificing. I'm sacrificing my game. I'm playing through injury. Screw this. I'm out.
Fair. Yeah, okay. I didn't see it this way, but yeah, sure. Maybe he's changing his game to be a more traditional point guard.
Somewhat. Yeah. Obviously, he'll still take shots, take some step backs, get to the line a little bit, but I don't think he wants to score 50. I don't know if he can physically because he hasn't been the same since the.
He's not able to go past. He's not able to go past his defenders now anymore. Like he can't. Like he might do it once a game, but like on a regular basis, like he used to. Even drawing those fouls, shooting threes, it's less regular nowadays. So, yeah. I think you might not be that far off. Yeah, that could be a good reason actually. You can talk me into that.
So it could be a quick series.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he stays that. Yeah. If he stays like that, and when you think also that what's his face? I had his name for a sec. No, not Embiid. Like
Maxey,
Lowry.
Yeah,
he's not even there yet.
Yeah,
and the bench Robinson as well. Like he played 0 minutes, first time in 3 years. So yeah.
Oh, I knew they benched him. I didn't realize he didn't play. It's because they opted for defense. They wanted to make sure that they had as few defensive liabilities out there as possible, because otherwise maybe Harden would have then gone hunting, or even Maxey, who did that a little bit in the first series. Yeah, they might have gone hunting, and they were just like, nope, not doing it.
Not tonight, Duncan. Not tonight.
He gave Oladipo all of his minutes, 26, to almost 27 minutes.
It was good to see Oladipo playing.
They just gotta stretch those legs after being out for so long, and that's if she can do it in the playoffs, then do it. If you are, why not?
Yeah. Yeah. So no Embiid. I'm gonna take the sweep.
All right.
The mop.
Mop it up.
The mop.
Gotta get mopped.
Episode title.
Hey. Mopping.
Mop deep. Mop deep.
Mop deep.
Mop deep.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the sweep. I'm taking the sweep.
Listen to some Mop Deep tonight, man.
Oh shit, me too. All right, Miami. It has to say, fuck it, Miami in 4. Sweep it up. Hot take.
Jose?
5. Just to be on the safe side. But I think it's going to be a mop as well.
And
they're going to get vacuumed.
Vacuum.
You're going to get hoovered. There you go. You got the whole kit there.
What else you got? What else? What else? It's going to get roll steamed.
Yeah. This is my studio, by the way, guys. Just a studio, recording studio. That's all it is. With a
do you do like sound effects as well? Is that where you got all this stuff?
I should. That'd be great. Sometimes I hear about jobs like that, and I'm just like, what a job. Like, I need to make the sound of chickens, but I don't have any chickens. What can I find that's going to make the sound of a chicken? Yeah, they just find random stuff. And that brings us to the last game we're going to break down, at least the Dallas Mavericks versus the Phoenix Suns. Suns edged this one, but it started to get close, didn't it? It was
at some point, yeah. But that's just purely because of Luka Doncic. And he cannot win the series. He's not going to win this series. So you get this team that made it to the finals last year, and you get 19 from Chris Paul, 23 from Devin Booker, 25 from Ayton that cannot be defended by anybody in that team.
No. Cam Johnson, 17 off the bench.
Even JaVale McGee, playing really well. There was one play where
stole the ball.
It was an ISO, and Luka had him in an isolation, and JaVale stole the ball. So that just tells you that Luka just tired. He's tired.
No, according to Twitter, is JaVale McGee is the MVP. He's the GOAT.
Exactly. And you said that Luka Doncic had JaVale McGee one-on-one on an island. No, JaVale McGee had Luka Doncic one-on-one on an island.
Yeah, if you
nowhere
guys,
to go.
If you've got a McGee jersey, I'm buying. I'm selling my Doncic.
Sell your Tony Parker. Get it, JaVale.
JaVale.
Is that a French name?
Well, it means
I think you like in center, so you should get JaVale.
His name in French means bleach. So
perfect. You're going to get bleached.
See, that's what happened to Doncic. He got bleached.
He got bleached.
He got bleached.
It's a very cleaning.
It's a cleaning episode.
Yes.
Wow.
Or the spring cleaning.
Cleaning, exactly.
How about that?
Spring cleaning. Hey, there you go. That's better than you got.
No, the mop. The mop. hey, whoa. Frankie Smokes got 2 minutes and 17 of play time.
I saw that.
One assist.
One rebound. No, one rebound.
Look at that.
Oh no, yeah, he got an assist.
Oh, no, an assist. He doesn't rebound.
No turnovers as well. That's a
plus minus one.
He was in the.
Did he take a shot?
No.
Only 3 players in the plus minus.
Fine.
That's 100% assist to turnover ratio. Who does that?
No one. Legends. That's who do that.
Yeah,
GOAT.
sure.
That's it. Tom's done. That's it. That's all he needed to
Yeah,
hear.
he's
We'll
like,
see. It's over. Wave the white flag.
See you in the
It's
Olympics.
over. Vince Carter.
Starting 5. Oh God.
you just got rinsed.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh gosh. But yeah, Dallas go on a furious rally to cut it to 6-7, I guess. At the end there. But
they were down by what, 20? I think they were down by 20 or something.
Yeah, even at the beginning, it was like a 22-5 start. I think like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. And yeah, I just think Phoenix are too talented for them.
Yeah.
It is interesting that Ayton was largely the difference in this game, though, because it's not like, wait, who do they play against? New Orleans. Yeah, it's not like the Pelicans had a matchup for him in particular. But yeah, he tore these guys up. So the other thing was the role players woke up for Phoenix. A lot of them shot really poorly in the first series, and I think Crowder hit some shots here. Cam Johnson hit some shots. Saying that the rest of them weren't great either.
Well,
they ended up 40% from 3.
Yeah, you only got 8 players that scored on the Suns, which is kind of weird, but they did a whole bunch of good, other stuff. But again, against the Mavs, it feels like that's the as far as they are going to go. I mean, they apart from Doncic, it feels like even as much
minutes too.
He played 44 minutes. Like you only Doncic with 60 points or 70 points to get a W, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Kleber.
That's not. I don't know if it'll do.
Yeah,
that.
Kleber scored really well from 3. He scored
like
4 threes in a row. But I mean, that's it.
Yeah,
Dinwiddie scored less, like what, 8 points, 9 points.
Yeah, Dinwiddie's got
8 points.
8 points.
And you need your 20 points from Dinwiddie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Brunson needs to be over 20 as well for you to.
Yeah. You need their big 3 to be all over 20, and then Kleber to be around 15.
And Luka scored 85.
Luka, all the other option is Luka with 60.
Yeah.
But
that's it. Easy win, yeah. Mavs in 5.
That's what the Suns have done. They went, oh, Luka, you take all the shots. Like you're If you've seen the game, it's like you do what you want. We'll take care of the other 4, which is an easier task than trying to contain him, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we've also seen as these playoffs go on. This is his first time in the second round. We've seen in the first round previously that he fatigues as the fourth quarter approaches. Obviously, he's a year more mature, a year better for sure. And I think he's a year fitter as well.
Yeah.
So he may not, right? He might keep these numbers up, but as long as they can keep the others down, they're going to be able to win these games. I don't see this being a sweep, though. I do think
they can win 1 in Dallas.
Yeah,
I do think the Mavs at some point will, because they are a team that at some point will get hot from 3. It happens. We've seen it in every series they've played over the last couple of years. So I do think they can, and they do defend as well. I do think they can bother the Suns here. I just think they're outmatched. They just don't have as much talent.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go 5.
Same.
Does Doncic get them to 6? He could.
I don't know. I think the Suns are just too well organized, too well oiled. Like they're just a good machine. And again, for me, it's the same than the Bucks. Like they have last year's experience, and I think that they look at the Mavs and they go, "Okay, we'll keep defending on the others and just let Luka do what he wants."
5. I'll go 5.
5. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I actually have a bracket for this.
You do, but let's not talk about it.
I got Phoenix in 5. So hey.
Okay.
Oh, is it the time that time on the episode where we look at where we are?
No.
Grit and Grime challenge.
No.
I think we should.
No.
If I can find it, because
No,
I think
no.
Jose is like
Last.
the Detroit Piston of the group, like all the
that
way at the
hurt.
bottom.
That hurt.
But you've got potential. That's what we say.
I
Can't find it.
so far the West. I'm doing well on the West. The East, I didn't get any right.
It's because you don't watch the East.
I
You're
never
just-
watched the East.
Oh no!
I found it. Let me see. Oh, I still got the same amount of points. That's not.
I said
reassuring.
Phoenix in 6. Yeah, I said Phoenix in 6.
Oh my God, what happened?
I said Phoenix in 5. So yeah.
But I did pick Philly.
Oh wow.
That's gonna hurt. Yeah, and Bucks in
I
6.
did pick Philly as well. I picked Brooklyn, man.
Same. Oh no! Wait, what? Yeah. I picked Brooklyn, but I did have Brooklyn losing to Milwaukee, so
No,
it won't
you got
affect
them
me after
winning.
this series.
Listen to me when I talk about the Nets. Listen to me. Anyway, in the standings, we've got somebody called Clutch AB who's leading. Who's that? Do you know?
That's the Clutch podcast. Shout out
That's
to
the
the
Clutch
Clutch
podcast.
podcast.
Well,
They do
2,000
football
points.
and basketball.
They're good.
Check them out. Check them out.
And then joint second, it's me, Dave, Jason, and Mike. And then joint bottom, it's Rich from the Boston
And some
UK,
NBA fan.
and some other guy, NBA fans 45, 18, 30, who's wished to remain anonymous with his beard.
Yeah.
What's your favorite number, Jose?
4, 5, 18, 30. That's how my lottery picks every week.
That's why you never win, because you're actually missing numbers.
That's my birthday.
So your birthday, 45, 15, 30.
The 45th of November 1930.
Is that your PIN code?
Yeah. Is that yeah.
No, of course.
Bank account number.
It's not the password to all my accounts.
Anyway,
before
we go, oh wait, we've done the series. Good, we're done. Yeah. All right, get us on social media at Grit and Grime Pod. Yep, that's it. At Grit and Grime Pod. On everything: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah,
we're all over the place. Remember to like, share, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast wherever you listen. If you are on YouTube, give us a like, click the bell. Trying to think what side it will be.
What else?
If I point to the left, wait, you end up on the right. That means that the bell is on the side you're on, which means that the bell is on this side and the like is on this side. So give us a like, click the bell, subscribe, and give us a review wherever you're at. And when you leave the review, what score should it be, Jose?
45.
5 stars.
45, 39.
45, 18, 30.
Oh man. Yes, thank you for listening. I've been David Sagoe. He's been Thomas Arnal.
Goodbye.
And he's been Jose Garcia Vidal.
Bye-bye.
And we're out of here.